Good morning. Welcome to Audrey's Southern Cooking. My name is Nita. So today we're working on Christmas. It's so close. We're right at the 1st of December. Cannot believe the time is flying this year. So what are we gonna do? Well, I had an idea. I know that a lot of people get up early. A lot of kids want to open their presents. I know when I was little, I couldn't wait to get up and open my presents. I was laying there in bed waiting on somebody to get up because my mama always got up and made breakfast. So, what can we do to have for something to eat fresh and hot that morning? What about fresh, homemade, hot, from the fryer, donuts? Yeah, you can do this. You can do it. You can make this the afternoon or evening before. Put it in the fridge if you want. Let it sit overnight. Let the dough sit overnight. All you have to do in the morning is roll it out, cut it, let it rise about 30 minutes. And then you're just gonna fry it. And it takes a few minutes. And while those are cooling, you're gonna make some quick icing. And it's gonna be delicious. Fabulous. You can do this. You can even do it the night before if you want and have them in the morning. They won't be hot. They'll still be fresh. They'll be made the night before. So, you can do that. So we're gonna make donuts today. I'm so excited. So excited. All right, let's get started. All right, here we are. So what I have is 35 grams or a couple of tablespoons of butter, and I have shortening. Crisco is what we call it in the South. Look. Izzy, come here. Did you hear? And then I have 375 milliliters of milk. I brought it to just a boil, turned it off, which is about 2.5 cups. So this is hot. I'm pouring it right over this. I'm gonna let it sit just a minute. Let that melt that down just a minute, and then we're gonna stir it up. So I'm just gonna stir this. I let it sit just a couple minutes in that hot milk to let this melt all this. So what I'm gonna do is once this is done, we're gonna let it cool down about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna let it sit over there. We're just gonna move my bowl. And in the meantime, we're gonna get our yeast ready. All right, so I have my water. I have 75 milliliters of water, which is half a cup. And it is 105 to 115 is what you need to activate your yeast. So I have my active dry yeast. And we're gonna sprinkle 3 teaspoons in the water here. And then we need to let that activate. So that's gonna take, Izzy, say hi. There you go, she said hi. So we're gonna let this activate about 5 minutes. And when we come back, we'll be ready to start mixing things together. I'll see you in 5 minutes. All right, we are back. Got my stand mixer. We're going to use our paddle attachment the first. So let's get started. Okay, my yeast, it's got a nice little head on it, as they say. A nice little foamy head. Our butter and milk with our shortening in it. Still a little lukewarm, so we're gonna put that in next. Then I have 50 grams of sugar. This is roughly, I would say, 1/4 cup. And I will have all this down in the recipe, in the description below in the recipe. I have 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. We're gonna add an eyeball of, just an eyeball, teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm gonna give this a quick stir. And then we're gonna mix in our flour. All right. So I have 660 grams of flour. This is just a plain all-purpose flour, or I will actually put it underneath here. You're gonna put about half. And give it a quick stir on low. All right, so as you can see, it's a little soupy, but we're gonna add the rest of our flour. All right, so we added the rest of the flour. And then all we like is 2 eggs. I'm gonna start it on low, and then I'll turn it up in a little bit. Let's get that mixing, and then we'll come back and we're gonna put our dough hook in a few minutes. All right, we'll be right back. All right, that was a quick few minutes. So as you see, we've got everything mixed. And now we're just gonna get this off of here. And we're gonna finish mixing this with our dough hook. And we're gonna let that go till it becomes a dough. And we'll be back in just a few minutes when it's ready. Okay, we are back. And now look at this. Whoops. Now it looks like a dough. It is still sticky, but it looks much more like a dough. So then, what I've done is I've gone ahead and I have put a little Crisco is what I actually used, and put some in a bowl. And we are just going to scrape this into the bowl. Now this is the part as well. If you want to cook this, have this much done and then let it sit in the fridge overnight, you can do that and get up in the morning and make fresh hot donuts. Or if you want to have, I'm sorry about her. If you want to go ahead and have hot donuts, or if you want to have just regular donuts, you can do that. Go ahead and let this rise an hour and a half. It's gonna double in size. Then we're gonna roll it out and make donuts. So what I'm gonna do is just cover this with some saran wrap or cling wrap. We always have called it saran wrap. And I'm just gonna sit it in a warm place for about an hour and a half. And then we're gonna come back and cut or roll it out and cut some donuts. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. All right, so I've got my dough off. And just look at that, nice and stringy. Looks great. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put it right here on this floured surface. And we're just gonna knead it just a little bit, and then we're gonna roll it out and cut our shapes. So I've got flour here on the counter. I put the flour on my hands. I'm just gonna knead this, and if you're not sure how to knead, basically all you do is you push forward with your palm of your hand and then you pull it back. Push forward, pull back. And we're going to roll this out. say about 3/4 inch thick. So let's see what we can do. Let me move my camera just a little bit better. Now you can see it a little bit better. Make sure you flour your roller and just roll it out. Okay, so what I want to do is make these pretty big. So I have a donut cutter, but it's about 2.5 inches. Let's see what that looks like. So not too bad. It didn't cut the center quite like I would wanted it to go all the way through. So what we're going to do, we're already taking some pans, put parchment paper and a little bit of flour on there. I'm just going to set the little donut parts aside. But what I do want to try is something that's a little over 3 inches big. Now, I know it's not a cutter, but it's going to be all right. I do like that. So take the cutter out. I like that better. We just dump the little circles out. The little donut holes, we're going to save those. We're going to cook those as well. So I think I like the way this looks better. So I'm just going to cut these out and we'll be back. All right, so what you can do with this dough is just roll it, knead it back up just slightly, and cut out some more. All right, so we are done with as many donuts as we can get. So we have a whole pan here, and we have this. And like I said, I'm gonna boil some water, put it in a pan and put it in the oven. The oven is off. It'll be like a little heater box. And then we'll let those rise about 30 minutes and we'll come back and be ready to fry. Okay, so my donuts are out. So we're gonna put these in just a couple at a time. You want to be pretty careful with your donuts. And we're just gonna put like 2, it looks like 2 will fit in here at a time. And you're just gonna cook those until they are golden brown. So just about a minute or 2 on each side. Got me a little trusty fork so I can kind of flip them. Shouldn't take long to get all these cooked. Ooh, that's gonna be so good. And then we're gonna ice them. So now you can kind of tell that they're getting ready because in that hole of the donut, it starts getting brown. I'm so excited. We're gonna try to take them out with the little pinchers. If that doesn't work, we'll use the scoop that we had before. But I've got paper towels on here. And when these are done, you want them kind of brown on both sides. That way they have time to cook on both ends. Won't take but like a minute to 2 minutes on each side. And you can see in the circles when they start in the little holes that we cut out, they'll start turning brown. Look at that, already turning brown. down just a little bit. I don't want to get them too brown though. I don't want them too burnt. All right, and that's all there is to cooking them. So we'll be back when I'm finished cooking these. All right, I'm back at the counter. I got them a little darker than what I would have liked. I had my oil a little hot. I'll have to get a thermometer to make sure I get it better. Some of these are really pretty, but they're all good. They're just a little darker than what you would normally want a donut. Now we're gonna make our icing. So what we have, powdered sugar. We're gonna have 2 tablespoons of corn syrup. Get all that out. All right, then we're gonna have a teaspoon of vanilla. Just eyeballing it. A pinch of salt. And then we're just gonna add our water. And then we're gonna mix it. Now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna use this for about half the donuts, and then I wanna do half. I'm gonna add a little cocoa powder to the other half. All right, let me get this sturdy and then we'll be right back. Take your donut and dip it in. Sounds like Izzy's back. Take your donut. Look at that. And we're just gonna set them right over here and let them drip. And like I said, I'm gonna get about half of these done. And then we're gonna come back and I will add some cocoa powder so you can see those. All right, so we finished these. See how shiny they are. It's not as thick as I would really like on there, but that's gonna be great. Here are the rest of our donuts. So I'm gonna move another tray right here. I have more donut holes on this one because I thought they'd be good. The chocolate, or just I can do a couple plain. Some of them didn't want to roll. Some of them just kind of got a little top heavy. Kind of made me think of a lot like Hush Puppies. They just kind of do what they want to do. All right, we'll do a couple more. And then we're gonna do chocolate. All right. Now we're gonna try, see how this tastes. Ooh. This is just 100% cocoa. I have a teaspoon here. I'm gonna just add a couple teaspoons and heaping teaspoons. And let's see. Let's see how that looks. Izzy. Let me get this mixed. All right, look how beautiful that turned out. Okay. And this is great for hiding some of these uglier donuts I have. So again, you're just gonna dip them and put them on your tray. See how that one's kind of ugly? But it's not gonna matter because you're gonna eat it anyway. And like I said, these would be great for Christmas morning when people get up. You could add sprinkles, how little Christmas candies on top while they're wet. Okay, so I've got them iced. I have to say they look really pretty. Let's take a look. My chocolate ones, they haven't quite set up, but look how pretty. And then we just have the regular iced. Those are gorgeous. All right, so let's take one and let's see what they look like on the inside. Look at the icing, how it's cracking. Oh, that's just what you want it to do. Look at that. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous donut. Oh my gosh. That is light. That's delicious. This finger looking good. Let me wipe my fingers and we'll be right back. All right, I have to honestly say I've never made donuts before. These are soft, they're light, they're delicious. And the icing, it doesn't take no time to make. I added a little chocolate. You could add strawberry flavoring. You could add whatever, lemon. I thought about lemon, thought about it hard. But I just went with the plain and then with the chocolate. All right. Again, another great idea for Christmas morning, any morning. They'll be ready. It'll be great for a breakfast or something, but they are sticky. Don't be aware of that, just like any donut with icing would. All right, I appreciate y'all watching. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And go ahead and share it with your friends and let them have an opportunity to come and join us and watching these videos and trying out some different things. Remember, we're doing our 8 weeks of cookies and I might use this. It's like a bonus video. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So good. All right, I will see y'all in the next video.